Hello, and welcome to this incredibly boring and long rant video about Genshin Impact. In this video, I just wanted to get some things off my chest. I didn't make this video for any other reason than to express my views on a game that I have thoroughly enjoyed for the past year. I feel that this game has been very enjoyable since I started playing, and I wanted to continue to be that way in the future. However, there are some things about the game that either have not changed and are ruining the experience, or just terrible for the game overall. First on my list is Resin. Resin has not changed since I think the 1.1 update or maybe 1.2. Regardless, maximum resin used to be 120, which was then increased to 160. Having a larger pool of resin wasn't really what we wanted or needed, but it wasn't actually that bad of a change at the time. However, now there's so much more to do in the game. There are now 5 weekly bosses, 13 world bosses, and 14 domains, and the Mora and EXP book leylines. All of these activities cost resin to claim rewards. Lowering the first 3 weekly bosses to half price was a nice change, but here's a better solution. Just make it free. Since it cannot be farmed, there really is no point in having to use resin to claim the rewards. This actually blows my mind how this hasn't been a bigger issue. I think overall, resin is bad for the game and shouldn't be a thing at all. I get that this is not only a gacha game and a money-making scheme, but also a mobile game, and these energy systems are quite common. But resin doesn't benefit the game at all. Players will just pre-farm materials to get their favorite characters up to level 90 on banner release day. My best solution that I can come up with is to either just lower the refresh rate of resin to about 4 minutes, maybe even 6 minutes at the most, or just remove resin from some activities like domains and weekly bosses, or just leave it on ley lines, maybe even world bosses. Let the players grind out for the materials they need. Stop holding us back. Second on my list is time-gated content. Mtashed talked about this in a video, and I fully agree with him. I don't really watch him, but I did watch this video, and he was absolutely correct. Time-gated content is ruining the game for a lot of the more casual or time-limited players. Mtash used the example of someone not having enough time to get Festering Desire, which is one of the best weapons in the game for free-to-play players. And it sucks that there's no way for players to get these weapons that they missed. Time-gating content is only punishing players that have little to no time to play. It's not affecting the players who have the time or streamers at all, so just don't do it. Thirdly, character buffs. Now, I have no problem with power creep, but there's a difference between a character or a weapon being power crept and a character who's just weak overall. A few characters that come to mind immediately are Amber, Chi-Chi, and Barbara to an extent. Not every character needs to be able to do massive damage. Support characters exist in this role to make your real big hitters hit even bigger. However, even those characters usually can do some decent damage while buffing and supporting your main DPS characters, like Mona or Sucrose. Look at Bennett. He heals, he buffs, and he can do some serious damage himself. His skill, with good artifacts, can hit for around 20,000 damage, and his elemental burst can hit for around 50. Nearly every character with the right build and artifacts can do decent damage. However, in the case of Barbara, she simply cannot. She is a healer, and her build is centered around her maximum HP. But by stacking HP on her artifacts, she just does no damage, and it feels like a wasted slot on your team. Especially if you have Kokomi or Jean. Why don't we just let some of her damage scale her off her HP the same way Kokomi does? That way, when I'm trying to heal my team, I'm still able to kill a few Hilichurls instead of just tickling them with water. I'm not asking her to be able to one-shot a meter drill or solo Abyss floor 12, but just a little damage buff would go a long way and make me pick her more often for certain activities where I need a healer. Chi-Chi is only weak in that she doesn't know whether she's a physical DPS or a cryo DPS. Her elemental burst does have pretty good scaling, but her skill is terrible and her C4 is basically useless. You could fix that easily by just converting her C4 attack debuff to a resistance debuff. Amber feels very odd to play, especially on mobile. You could easily make it so that you don't need to shoot Baron Bunny in the foot of all places, to just shoot him, or better yet, just pressing the skill button again for a remote detonation. These characters have been weak from the start, and there are a few others that could use minor tweaks and buffs just to make them a little bit better. We aren't asking for Chi-Chi or Amber to be as good as Ganyu or Shogun. We just want them to be good enough to not be holding us back, especially if those characters are our favorites. If Zhongli can get a buff, surely others can and deserve the same. Fourth on the list is Adventure Rank rewards. This one is just ridiculous. I have been playing for just over a year now, about 380 days. I am at AR level 57. I have over 1,100 hours of playtime. And what do I get for my dedication to the game? 1 Acquaint Fate, 50,000 Mora, 2 Fragile Resin, 30 Enhancement Ores, and 21 EXP books. Wow, that's amazing. Now that's from 56 to 57. So what do I get for another 3 to 4 months of playing when I finally hit AR 58? Oh, it's exactly the same. Let's quickly take a look at the Battle Pass. In the free route, which takes less than a month to get to level 50 and refreshes every 40 days or so with every update, we get 27 blue EXP books, 36 purple EXP books, 96 enhancement ores, 720,000 Mora, 5 fragile resin, and 5 Acquaint Fates. Now you can basically times that by 3 because you'll probably go through 3 battle passes in the 3 to 4 months it'll take you to get from AR 57 to 58. And if you buy the paid route, you not only get all the free stuff, but you even get more Mora, more EXP books, more enhancement ores, and fragile resin. You also get talent books, a weapon of your choice, 4 intertwined fates, and 680 primer gems. Grinding adventure rank and the adventure rank rewards are an absolute joke. This game is just so backwards in some areas. I have no idea what MiHoYo are thinking sometimes. Although, I don't think I should be surprised after the anniversary fiasco. I think this game is great overall, and I will continue playing it because I love the world, the story, the characters, and the gameplay. The game has been great so far, and there have been some low points along the way. But for the most part, I have been enjoying it, even more so than some other AAA titles. I just don't want certain things that can be easily changed for the better of the entire community ruin the experience for everyone. MiHoYo has a great game here, with rich lore and characters, regular content updates, and fun gameplay. I just don't want it to go to waste. That about wraps it up for me. There are many more issues with the game that I haven't mentioned, but these are just the main issues for me. If you watched the whole video, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my complaints. I didn't really make this video for any other reason than to just vent my frustrations. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. This is mine, and I welcome yours. I'd very much like to hear anything else you might have to say about Genshin. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.